Thank you, everybody, for coming this afternoon. I just want to announce the news that's already out there that we've signed Dan Bylsma, our head coach, to a new 3-year contract extension. Looking back to February of 2009, when I first gave Dan the opportunity to come up to Pittsburgh, obviously things worked out very well. I'm not exactly sure if I knew what we were getting into, but Dan's proven to be obviously a great head coach, a great fit with me. I said when I was hired here, one of the things from a coach I think that makes a guy successful is 3 different things, and that's his ability to teach, inspire, and to motivate. And he does all 3 very well. He utilizes his coaching staff very well. A lot of good things that he's done. And Dan was on the last year of his contract, and I think the relationship I've developed with Dan, I think it was in October. The team wasn't doing very well, but I sat down with him. And I said, "Listen, you're my coach. I'm going to talk to you about a new contract at some point here." I was pretty sure we had a good team back in October, November. I was 100% sure I had the right coach. So it was a matter of time before this got worked out. So on behalf of the Penguins and our ownership group with Mario and Ron Burkle, thank you to Dan. Looking forward to having him around for a lot longer. And I'm very happy for him and, of course, his family, Mary Beth and Brian. So without further ado, Dan Bylsma.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a little offended that you didn't know what you were getting into in the spring of '09, but I wasn't offended when you came in October and had a brief conversation about me being the coach of the team. And again, I'm reminded of '09 when I felt like I had to pinch myself on the way to the rink every day that I was the coach of a National Hockey League team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it's a humbling thing to think about the opportunity that I've been given, and with this team and this organization, the unbelievable ownership group. I don't think we have there's a better one in sports, with Ron and Mario as our owners. The opportunity in this organization, Ratio, has entrusted to me, the confidence that you've given. It's a unique organization, and it's right through every man. I can name a lot of people, the coaching staff, and Tom Fitzgerald as a guy who's coached and helped out in different ways, and the coaching staff, Todd Reardon and Tony Granato. Mike Yo comes to mind immediately. He's a guy who's done a lot, and it's just I'm very humbled, very thankful, and again, it's another unique opportunity with this group of guys, this group of players. Our players have been unbelievable. We have a unique talent, but we also have a unique person when it comes to Pittsburgh Penguin hockey, and really fortunate. And I know this is a place for my wife and my son that we're excited. She's counting off the years of schooling that this contract takes us through, and we're happy, and she's happy. So I'm thrilled.
Yeah, what have you learned about yourself through this?
Sorry,
my voice was booming enough anyway.
It was.
What have you learned about yourself through this season so far, with all the injuries that you've had to deal with, and how that relates to your coaching style, and how satisfied are you with your success through all that?
Well, I mean, what have I learned about myself? Well, I think that you talk about certain things as a coach, and you believe in certain things, and the players have believed in them, and sometimes it takes some adversity to show that to be true. And I'm thrilled for the guys in that room right now that they've had to go through this adversity, because they've worked and they've battled, and they've done it. They did it last year. They did it certainly in '09, and they've believed and they've worked hard, and they have something special in that room, and a little of adversity has shown that that's exactly the kind of person and character we have in that room, and it's fun to see them. It's fun to see them have success and buy into that and come together as a team. And it's not always the easiest pillow at night, but it certainly is when you watch that team come together and work. And that's been a growing experience and a fun experience this season.
Dan, obviously you've been on a pretty good roll since you've been here with the Penguins, but was there any ever time when you started out doing this coaching thing that you thought, what am I getting into? Was there ever any low point or anything like that when you first got started that you second guessed the decision?
Was that first game against Hershey? We got beat 8-3, and Chuck Fletcher gave me a look like I was an assistant coach for 5 years before I became a head coach, and the head coaches that I had talked to said you'll learn everything you need to know in the first 20 games of being a head coach. It's completely different, but there's a steep learning curve, and in that time period, I think our team in Wilkes-Barre was, we were just 500 or so in the first 20 games, and there was some moments in that time where you're actually confronted with the idea that maybe you don't know as much as you think you know, or is this going to work? What to do? The players are looking at you. You feel the eyes on you, and that was an interesting, couple months of head coaching experience. And luckily I had some great mentors and some great people leading me as a coach and teaching me. And shortly thereafter, the players and our team changed fortunes in Wilkes-Barre, but those are the trials and tribulations. It's not quite unlike what we're going through a little bit this year with some of the adversity and different scenarios with our team. But you learn a lot in that little bit, and you feel those eyes on you for the first time that you don't as an assistant coach, and that was certainly a steep learning curve for me then.
Yeah, the Penguins don't exactly have a great history of coaches sticking around for more than a couple of years. I'm sure you're aware of it. Did you ever think about that when you were hired, just looking through the team's history, like every 2 or 3 years there's a new coach, and just kind of relax you knowing that you're the guy for the long term now?
I've been made aware several times of the longevity of Pittsburgh Penguin coaches. It hasn't. I might not be smart enough to have it dawned on me that should be something I should be concerned about. When I was hired, Ray Shiro gave me the opportunity to coach the team for one game, and that was an opportunity, one game, one day, that I was more than eager to take. And I waited after that game for Ray Shiro to tell me that I was going to be running the next practice. There was an interim tag there and I talked about I'm going to act and be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins until someone tells me I'm not, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing going forward. I certainly am appreciative and excited about this contract and what it means, but I'm also going to make sure that I'm going to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow, and I'm going to act like it until Ray Shiro tells me I'm not.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.